Hello everybody, welcome to the Abbots Address for Friday, July 24th, 2015. So, we're continuing on with our conversation about the roots of dispute that the Buddha taught in terms of keeping harmony in the Sangha. And the one that we're on now is we've talked about angry and resentful, we've talked about envious and miserly, talked about that, talked about deceitful and fraudulent, misrepresenting or deceiving, fraudulent kind of things. And then now we get to evil wishes. Evil wishes. Now you might say again, like we've said before, we're talking about a Buddhist community here. How can there be somebody with evil wishes? You would think that that wouldn't be an issue. And how would you know what an evil wish is? What defines an evil wish? Well, basically, any intentional hope or direction to cause harm, to cause suffering. So to intentionally wish to cause harm or to intentionally wish to cause suffering or anguish, this is how I would understand an evil wish, okay, an evil intention. Now you might think, how would that come up in the Sangha, and what would be an example of that? Well, there's actually a really interesting example, right, from the Buddha's own time. When he was teaching, amongst the very first group of disciples that he had was Devadatta. And Devadatta was his cousin, the way the stories are told. And Devadatta was someone who attained some serious degree of experience in practice. It is said he attained some of the higher jhana states, that he even had some spiritual power, that he could, he had some chutzpah to him. And interestingly, though, Devadatta wanted power and wanted authority. And he was always very envious of the Buddha for his teaching and for the position that he had. And so even this very advanced practitioner succumbed to this, and not only had feelings of jealousy and envy, but he went into actual evil wish because he used his sort of spiritual mojo, which was not as developed as the Buddha's, but was more developed than a lot of people's, most people's. He used it to influence certain people of royalty, to found spaces for him. He was able to take, I think, something like 400 or 500 monks that broke off from the Buddhist Sangha to follow him. So there's this business of making splits in the Sangha is really tied up in this idea of evil wish, having the wrong intention. But even more specifically than that, this is kind of astounding, but this is in all the suttas, is that there was a moment where he actually saw the Buddha was coming down the road, okay, and he was up on a mountain or a hill or something like that, and he pushed this big boulder so that hopefully, in Devadatta's mind, it would roll down the hill and crush the Buddha. I mean, he tried to say, look, you're getting old, maybe we should just make you a little hermitage and bring you food, and you can give the governance of the Sangha over to me and just take it easy. And the Buddha rebuked him severely and wouldn't hear it. He was not the designated successor. Okay, it went to Mahakasyapa. And so he decided, I'm going to kill that guy, I'm going to kill the Buddha. And so he actually did this thing. He pushed the boulder and rolled down the thing. Now, whether by miracle or accident or what have you, the boulder veered off the wrong way. It hit something, it broke apart, but a chunk of the boulder came down and actually hit the Buddha's leg and damaged his leg. Hurt him. It injured the Buddha. Didn't kill him like Devadatta hoped for, but it injured the Buddha. And so there's a clear example of someone who's got evil wish. He's trying to actually harm the Buddha physically, trying to take him out, So yeah, that would be a source of dispute in the Sangha. That would be a source of, disharmony in the Sangha. Now, for most of us, we don't get to a point where we're like, okay, that's enough of this. Grab a machete or get the shotgun and go try to blow this person away. Hopefully we're beyond that stuff. But it shows up in more subtle ways. be mindful of the intention that someone else is harmed. That you would actually have a state of mind that is actually intending for someone to suffer. You know the feeling I mean, in some kind of a way. Can you actually be in a difficult conversation? Can you be in a challenged situation where maybe you have to be severe or consequences demand response, and it's icky. But can you be in that situation and not intend harm? To actually hold in the frame of mind that you're intending the best for this person, the best for yourself, the best for everybody. And actually hold that and maintain that, see. Now the same with the other roots of dispute in the Sangha. The Buddhist counsel is to say that if you don't maintain, or if you have this evil wish or this intention of harm, this harming intention, remember intention is karma for the Buddha, right? So if you have this intention for harm, then you're not in correct relationship to the teacher, and you're not in correct relationship to the community, and you're not in correct relationship to the teachings themselves. And because you're not in correct relationship with the triple treasures, with the triple gem, you won't accomplish your training. And because you don't accomplish your training, the multiple sorrows are expounded, are compiled, see? So there we go. There's a big job for us. For most of us, it doesn't show up in these huge, big ways. We don't go around trying to kill people. But in your head, an enemy shows up, you try to kill that guy in your head. Thoughts generate karma. You talk about it and like to kill that son of a bitch. Thoughts, words generate karma. See? You don't have to just physically act it out. It's how do you destroy the anger? How do you destroy the violence inside? See? You actually can do this. And everything that happens in the practice in the practice is fuel for your practice. Everything that happens in life becomes fuel for your practice. So if you have a person that's showing up as what might present as like an adversary or a challenging person in some way, use that. It's a great gift. Take that up as a part of your practice. Practice letting go of this evil intention, of the intention of harm, if it's there. And again, as a reminder, in this little series of conversations, the Buddhist tells us, if you find this root of disharmony in the community, this root of evil intention, of evil wish, see it, acknowledge it, let it go, and practice in such a way that this is uprooted and gone. And if you don't see this root of dispute, this root of harm, this conscious intentionality of harm, then practice in such a way that it does not arise. And in this way, this negative root of dispute is not given terrain. See? So take it up. It's a really great practice. Maybe you're lucky enough to work in an office where there's irritating people there. Perfect. Okay? Or maybe your pug has a nemesis cat. They can practice that way, maybe, if they're good at it. All right? What is it for you? Send me a note. Let me know. I'm really enjoying all the conversations and dialogue, by the way. Thank you for that. In terms of announcements for the community, I'm just delighted that the Leadership Council has now voted on and we finally approved the new bylaws. They're going to be sent around to everybody for taking a look at. They're on the website. Hey guys, come here. Come here. They're going to be on the website so you can look at them. They're there now, I think. So we've got those at long last. Thank you for everybody who put such effort into making them. And I think that's it. Chikai is coming up soon. Oh, there we go. Bye, everybody.